was good. More of it was lucky than I usually admit. 3 a.m. philosophy. Nobody asked for it, but here it is. 3 a.m. philosophy. The version of yourself that doesn't perform. Sitting with the window cracked. City doing his quiet thing below. 3 a.m. philosophy. This is when I actually know. Let me tell you what 3 a.m. sounds like when you're not afraid of it anymore. It sounds like the refrigerator humming and your own breathing and not much else. I used to feel that silence with everything. Phone show, anything to keep the quiet out. Now I just sit in it and let it do its thing. Turns out it usually has something worth hearing. The stuff that rises when the noise goes down is mostly gratitude with some unresolved questions. I can live with that combination. 3 a.m. taught me that. 3 a.m. philosophy. Nobody asked for it, but here it is. 3 a.m. philosophy. The version of yourself that doesn't perform. Sitting with the window cracked. City doing his quiet thing below. 3 a.m. philosophy. This is when I actually know. Still here, still thinking. That's enough. Wake up before the alarm and just lie there, listening to the apartment breathe. The radiator clicking, the street below waking up. All of it ordinary and completely enough. You're still asleep on your side of things. I don't move because I don't want to start the day yet. Just want to stay in this specific quiet before everything. Ask something before the alarm. The hour that belongs to nobody. Before the alarm. Everything's still possible, nothing demanded. This is where I save things. The good thoughts, the clear ones. Before the alarm is my favorite part of the day. Been keeping a mental list of these mornings. Not written down, just held somewhere for when the harder days arrive. And they always eventually do. I wanna be able to pull from this the specific texture of quiet and warm. The weight of the blanket, the sound of someone sleeping near me. Before the alarm, the hour that belongs to nobody. Before the alarm, everything's still possible, nothing demanded. This is where I save things. The good thoughts, the clear ones. Before the alarm is my favorite part of the day. Grateful for the alarm because it means the day is coming. Grateful for the before because it's mine. Before still here.
Здорово.
Raining outside and the tape deck's running. Oh, cassette I found behind the books.
Лайк закинул, сейчас рассказываю нового. Спасибо большое. Че нового? Я не знаю. Что-то же грустно здесь становится. Скучновато. Не? ПВП нету. Боссы хуйня. 1 на 1 ПВП вроде иногда есть, но из-за того, что скиллы Такие себе ПВП ни о чем. Не знаю, пока сижу краблю. Наверное, если бы я не выбил бы свиток фиол, скорее всего, уже ливнул с игры. Так, сейчас, если его продам, может подбустимся, то что-то будет интересней играться. 31 плюс 7. Шанс крита. Остается только фармить, что-то качаться и все. А где выбил? Сюжетки шел, короче, и где-то на 63-х мобах дропнул. Повезло чисто. Такое ощущение, что коллекции лучше закрывать просто на на количество. Фиксированный силовой урон. Оплата горит. Там куча всякой хуйни еще продается параллельно. Там кто-то тоже еще выбил свиток фиол. И теперь начинается этот тягаться, демпить цену. Бля, сбил настройку фул. Эти серьги зеленые сегодня так нормально ушли. Востребовано. Перебил ведь цену, интересно. Да, смотри, 22 тысячи поставил. У меня было 25. Он поставил 23 333, я поставил 23, я уже на косарь снизил. Посмотрим, подождем. Сейчас будут качели. Ну да. Только, блядь, по серебру это будет, типа, нормально бить. Каждая ставка 20 тысяч алмазов, это 200 тысяч серы. Типа 10 ставок я смогу перебить. Смотрим. А у тебя как успехи? Что интересного? The one who's been there through 4 different versions of me, who remembers who I was without holding it against who I became. The new ones who showed up recently and slotted in like they'd always been there. Good people are the compound interest of a life. They build over time if you take care of them. I've been taking better care. Что не понял, я купил или нет? Вроде нет. 52 КБМ, ушел с гид, друзей встретил в игре. Браво, играли вместе, а так топ-пэт выпал фиол. Нормально, нормально. Но это у тебя 52к с фиол пузом, да? Менкент. Часик.
This exact period of my life can see the foundation clearly. The part where the real building happened. Not the dramatic moments. Those are easy to remember. The days
А я вроде видел, как ты уходил, ты там что-то вроде в клан-чат писал, да?
compounded quietly. 40 years from now, I wanna have done the things that mattered. 40 years from now, I wanna know I chose deliberately, not perfectly, not without stumbling, but with
А
intention
какая профа?
and some grace. 40 years from now, I wanna recognize this
А, ровера. Ну, я, кстати, собрал вот это черненького.
They know now that they didn't have access to at my age. They keep saying the same things in different words. Stop waiting for
Медкент.
conditions to be perfect.
А, вот
The
такой, да.
conditions are never perfect. There's not a flaw in the design, that's the whole thing.
Ебать, атака оружием 80, шанс крита. Защита, фикс урон, ПВЕ. Бля, ну это неплохой, да, такой.
I wanna know I chose
Круто.
deliberately, not perfect.
Что тут еще есть? Атака, меткость, фикс урон 160, ебать. Вот этот вот жирный, прям жестко. Пробивание защиты, это типа фулл урон. А, это эффект Мау. А, тут некоторые идут на пусковую установку. А, вот как. Арбитр у меня топовый. А ты что, эту штуку не собрал? Вроде, по идее, все должны были ее собрать. У меня еще остались запчасти, я сюда втачивал. 4 штуки пытался вточить, и, короче, не хочет она. Типа вот тут вот желательно нужно выбирать по одному и точечно втачивать, куда тебе надо. Я выбрал каждой по одной, я думал, их надо разобрать, а оно, оказывается, сюда втачивается. Дальше. Я вышел с гинет месяца. Ну да, тогда чуть позже соберешь. И в какой ги сейчас будешь играть? Санскрита.
Late evening with the lamp on low. Guitar coming from somewhere through the wall. Neighbor practices the same progression. I've grown to love the repetition. Night chapters, the ones you only get to read once. Night chapters, slowing down enough to be in them. The day had everything it needed, and now the night is something different. Night chapters, this one's worth the read.
Еще один не хватило.
I've been writing down the small things at the end of each day. Nothing formal, just 3 lines. Turns out 3 lines is enough to remind yourself what actually happened. The day I wrote was better than the day I lived. Yeah. Meaning the writing showed me what I missed.
Team forward.
That I walked past on the way to
Гильдия, гильдия. И они там идут. Night Mode, Team Forward. ПВЕ. И что у них там по распределению с босса этого? Клан босса. Ну окей, сейчас заходи еще. Расскажешь потом. Тебе тоже удачи. Интересно будет узнать, чё как.
for the chapter I'm currently in, and for the one still coming.
Another good chapter.
Still reading.
Good night. Good night.
Found a box of photos I forgot existed. 2 hours sitting on the bedroom floor with them. Every one of them a different version of the world. The faces young and unbothered by everything that came after. There's one from the summer that I mostly let go of, but the photo had it perfectly. We were all laughing at something, nobody remember what afterward. Nostalgia doesn't have to hurt, it can just be acknowledgement. This happened, it mattered, I'm glad it did. Oh, memory lane, not trying to go back, just passing through. Memory lane, everything I built was built on you. The people, the places, the summers that ran long. Memory lane, that's where the good stuff's from. Called the person in the photo I still talk to. Told her I found the picture, she laughed. Said she still had the same jacket. Some things survived longer than you'd expect. We talked for an hour about nothing in particular. Ended up being everything in general. That's the thing about the people who knew you early. They hold something nobody else can hold. Not chasing the past, just honoring it. There's difference, I'm finally clear on that. Oh, memory lane, not trying to go back, just passing through. Memory lane, everything I built was built on you. People, the places, the summers that ran long. Oh, memory lane, that's where the good stuff's from. Good stuff's from. Grateful for the box, grateful for the floor time, grateful for the version of myself that kept every photograph. Not trying to go back, just passing through. Memory lane, everything I built was built on you. The people, the places, the summers that ran long. Memory lane, that's where the good stuff's from. Still grateful, all of it. Every photograph. Yeah. You have a gravity I can't explain in regular terms. I just end up in your orbit without deciding to. Not pulled by force, more like drawn by preference consistently. Every room we're both in, I know exactly where you are. Not watching just to where there's a difference. Gravity doesn't announce itself, it just works all the time quietly. You've got gravity, the kind that stop fighting eventually. You've got gravity, and I'm not trying to get away anymore. Just letting the pull do what it does, see where the orbit leads. You got gravity, and I'm
resistant to things that felt like this before. Got comfortable keeping distance as default. You made distance feel unnecessary, not by demanding closeness, just by being the kind of person where closeness made sense. Some people you keep at arm's length, some you just don't, and the difference is gravity. You've got gravity, the kind that stop fighting eventually. You've got gravity, and I'm not trying to get away anymore. Just letting the pull do what it does. See where the orbit leads. You got gravity, and I'm here for it. Not falling, not falling, not falling, not falling, not falling, orbiting. There's something better about that choice in every revolution, choosing to stay in the pool. Gravity staying in it, choosing to.
Yeah. Met in the middle of a disagreement. Either of us right, both of us sure. Somebody suggested we try the other's position. Just try it, just for a minute. Half an hour later we were somewhere neither of us started. Somewhere that had both of our fingerprints. That's common ground, not compromise. Something built common ground. That's where the real things get done. Common ground. Neither yours nor mine. Both of us not giving up, not giving in. Building something together that wasn't there. Common ground. That's where I wanna stand.
I've been thinking about the relationships that held versus the ones that didn't. The pattern I keep finding is common ground or the lack of it. The ones that work were willing to build, to sit in the discomfort of different perspectives, long enough to find a place underneath where both views could stand.
Common ground.
That's where the real things get done.
Common ground.
Neither yours nor mine. Both of us not giving up, not giving in. Building something together that wasn't there.
Common ground.
That's where I wanna stand. Common ground is a skill, not a natural state. You have to choose it actively, especially when your position feels solid. I've been wrong about things I was certain of, more times than my ego wanted to admit. The experience of being corrected with care is one of the more valuable things I've had. Common ground doesn't mean you abandon what you know. It means you hold it loosely enough to let new information in. Common ground.
Always looking for
Common ground.
always worth finding. the things you laugh at without thinking, in the sayings you use that came from somewhere specific before you. I've been paying attention to the things I do that didn't start with me. The comfort foods, the phrases, the songs I know all the words to without knowing how. Whether you tend them or not, everything you come from coming through. Not something to manage, something to honor. And I'm glad mine do. Yeah. Had a moment watching my nephew do something exactly the way my father does. Gesture came from somewhere. Travel through time without a passport. That's the thing about roots. They're not just backward looking. They're moving forward through every generation, carrying what was worth carrying. Whether you tend them or not, everything you come from coming through. Not something to manage, something to honor. And I'm glad mine do. Let me talk about inheritance without the complications. Just the simple part. The part where you realize you are someone's future as much as someone's past. What I carry forward matters, not just for me, for whoever comes after. Who do something with my gesture without knowing where it came from. I wanna pass on the good parts, the warmth, the humor, the stubbornness that serves. Leave behind the parts that didn't help anyone. Choose the inheritance deliberately. All the way down, all the way forward. Driving back through the old neighborhood at midnight. Everything's the same, but I'm reading it different now. I used to count the street lights just to pass the time. Now I'm counting everything I used to take for granted. The corner store still has the same sign up. Same guy behind the counter on a Friday. He nodded like he recognized something in me. I don't know if that's distance or coming back. I'm not the same person who left, but I'm not someone new either. Somewhere in the middle of all that is where I actually live. Halfway home, between who I was and who I'm getting to. Halfway home, close enough to see it's still something to prove. Not running from, not running to, just halfway home. And that's alright. Oh, playlist came up on shuffle out of nowhere. 6 songs in before I realized what was happening. Muscle memory is a strange kind of haunting. Not painful, just specific. Texted someone I hadn't talked to in 2 years. Just said, hey, hope you're doing well. They rip out in 3 minutes like no time had passed. Some things hold even when you let the rope go. Not trying to reconstruct anything, just acknowledging it existed. That's a different thing. Took me a while to learn that. Between who I was and who I'm getting to. Halfway home, close enough to see it's still something to prove. Not running from, not running to, just halfway home. Yeah, and that's alright. Let me be honest about where I'm standing. Not the version I post, the actual one. Doing well by most definitions, still figuring out a couple of the big ones. Is that a complaint? That's an honest inventory. Most days the good outweighs the unclear. Halfway home means the journey's still happening, and I'd rather be moving than stuck somewhere.
who I was and who I'm getting to. Halfway home, close enough to see it's still something to prove. Not running from, not running to, just halfway home, and that's alright. Halfway, still go halfway, that's enough. No, no, yeah, yeah. Used to need the room to know I was doing something. Validation was the currency I ran on. Took me longer than I like to admit, to figure out that's a debt that never clears. Now I move different, not louder, actually quieter. The confidence that doesn't need announcement, it's the kind I've been building toward. It's not arrogance, it's not performance, it's just knowing and letting that be enough. Quiet confidence doesn't need a spotlight to exist. Quiet confidence does the work and lets the work speak. No announcement, no highlight, just a steady kind of show. Quiet confidence, that's what I'm after. Yeah. Had a moment in a meeting last week where I knew I was right and said it once clearly. Didn't repeat it, didn't push, just let it sit and watched it land. Oh me, would've over-explained it, would've checked 3 faces for confirmation. Knew me, said it and moved on. It's the kind of growth that doesn't photograph well. Nobody gave me a certificate for it, but I felt it, and that was the whole point. Confidence, oh, doesn't need the spotlight to exist. Quiet confidence does the work and lets the work speak. No announcement, no highlight, just a steady kind of show. Quiet confidence, that's what I'm after. Let me talk about the version of strength that doesn't look like strength from the outside. The one that shows up in the small decisions, the ones that compound over years into character. Chose the honest answer when the easy one was available. Stay when it would have been simpler to go. Kept the commitment nobody was tracking, because I said I would, and that still means something. Quiet confidence is the score you keep internally, the standard you hold yourself to in private, when the only audience is you, and you still do the right thing. Quiet confidence doesn't need the spotlight to exist. Quiet confidence does the work and lets the work speak. No announcement, no highlight, just a steady kind of show. Quiet confidence, that's what I'm after. Steady, steady,
There's an architecture to a good morning, built differently than the rest of the day. Before the notifications and the obligations, before anything's been asked to you, I've been designing mine more deliberately, not with a 5-step routine, just with the question, what do I need? Before the day takes what it takes, the morning belongs to you, before it belongs to everyone else. That's the architecture, choose it deliberately.
Morning architecture,
Building the day before it builds you,
morning architecture.
the foundation that holds the rest.
Choose the first hour.
Choose the first
That's where it starts. Mine starts with something quiet. Before anything with a screen, just the room, just the light as it arrives. Just whatever's actually on my mind. Some mornings is gratitude, some mornings is something I need to work through. Both count, both a part of the architecture. The way you meet the morning shapes the morning, and the morning shapes everything after. So it matters. Oh, morning architecture, building the day before it builds you. Morning architecture, the foundation that holds the rest. Choose the first hour, choose the first start. Morning architecture, that's where it starts. I've been waking up earlier than I need to, not out of discipline, out of preference. The hour before anything starts is the most valuable hour in the day. I do different things in it on different days. Some days I read, some days I just exist. Some days I work on something that's mine before I give the day away. Morning architecture is a philosophy of claiming time before it gets claimed, of starting from intention instead of reaction. Morning, build it right, it's the whole thing. Asked how I was doing and I said fine. Meant it more than usual this time. Used to say fine as a placeholder for something I hadn't sorted out yet. This time fine was the destination, not the holding pattern. Took me long enough to get here that the word finally fits. The other side of fine is where I've been trying to get, and standing here feels exactly like I thought it would. Oh, the other side of fine, made it through to somewhere I can breathe. Other side of fine, doesn't look like much, but it means everything. Nobody gives you a moment for it, but I'm giving myself one. Other side of fine is where I live now. Yeah. Got through the season, I was testing everything. Not gracefully, not on the first try. More like persistence over elegance, but the outcome is the same. Learned some things I couldn't have learned easier. The hard version was the only version on offer. I'm not grateful for the difficulty, but I'm grateful for what the difficulty built. There's a version of strength that only exists on the other side. You can't develop it anywhere else. I got it now. Made it through to somewhere I can breathe. Other side of fine. Doesn't look like much, but it means everything. Nobody gives you a moment for it, but I'm giving myself one. Other side of fine is where I live now. Yeah. Let me be clear about the timeline, because it matters for the story. This wasn't fast, this was slow and deliberate and sometimes backwards. There were weeks where I find seemed theoretical, like something other people had access to. Weeks where I was just managing and calling that a win. But managing compounded, and managing turned into okay, and okay turned into actually fine, and fine turned into this. Made it through to somewhere I can breathe. I can breathe. Other side of fine. Doesn't look like much, but it means everything. Nobody gives you a moment for it, but I'm giving myself one. Other side of fine is where I live now. Other side, finally here.
The long road back from wherever I work started with admitting I left in the first place. That part took longer than everything after. The admission is the hardest mile. I've been gone in ways that don't show on the outside, present in body somewhere else in practice, functioning fine by every visible measure, while something important was running on empty. The long road back doesn't start with the destination, it starts with turning around, and that's the whole first part. Don't roll back. Started when I stopped pretending. Don't roll back. One honest smile at a time. Not arriving fast, not arriving easy. Long road back, but I'm on it. But I'm on it. But I'm on it. Told someone the actual version, not the managed version, the real one. Expected judgment, got something else, got the specific relief of being known accurately. There's something about being seen in your difficulty that makes the difficulty feel more navigable. Less alone in it, and alone in it was most of the way. Share weight is different way, that's not weakness, that's how it's supposed to work. I just forgot for a while. Long road back. Started when I stopped pretending. Long road back. One honest smile at a time. Not arriving fast, not arriving easy. Long road back, but I'm on it. But I'm on it. But I'm on it. Still on it. Miles behind me now. More ahead, but different miles. The returning kind. Road. Still walking. Road. Getting there. At the end of the exchange, when everything's been settled, there's always something left over. Small change from a larger transaction. I've been paying attention to what's left over. After the hard conversations, the long projects, after the seasons that required everything, what's still there when the dust settles? Keep the change. That's what's left after it all. Keep the change. The residue is the real yield. Oh, keep the change.
What's left when the big thing's done? Small remainders tell the whole story. The wisdom, the calluses, the things that survive the hard part. Oh, keep the change. That's what you actually earn. Yeah, after the difficult year, what I kept was mostly perspective. The gear itself I trade if I could, but the perspective that I keep. After the relationship that didn't work, I kept the version of honesty I developed inside. The willingness to say the real thing cost me that relationship, bought me every good one since. The change from hard experience is the most valuable currency. You can't get it easier. You can only get it through. Oh, what's left when the big thing's done? The small remainders tell the whole story. Oh, the wisdom, the calluses, the things that survive the hard part. Oh, keep the change. That's what you actually earn. Yeah, let me account for what I've kept from every version of hard that's come through, because the inventory is mostly good. Once you separate it from the difficulty it arrived with. Kept the ability to sit with uncertainty, kept the patience I didn't have before, kept the specific humility of having been wrong about something I was sure of, kept the relationships that stayed after the easy version of me was no longer available. Those are the ones that changed from the hard years, but those. Used to get a lot of static on everything, every decision coming through unclear. Too many voices including my own, all of them competing for the frequency. Something shifted when I started getting quiet, not meditative quiet, just less noise. Turn down the external inputs and the internal one got louder. Clear signal, finally. That's what quiet sounds like when you're actually ready for it. Clear signal, cutting through everything. Clear signal, this is what I actually know. Not the noise, not the performance, not the version for other people. Clear signal, that's the one I'm following. Decision I've been circling for 8 months became obvious in about 30 seconds of quiet. All the deliberating having noise, the answer was always there underneath it. I think we know more than we let ourselves know, because knowing requires choosing, and choosing requires commitment, and commitment is the part that's scary. But when the signal's clear, the choice is to, and carrying it out is easier than carrying the question. Clear signal, cutting through everything. Clear signal, this is what I actually know. Not the noise, not the performance, not the version for other people. Clear signal, that's the one I'm following. Yeah, I'm gonna follow the clear signal, even when the noise makes a compelling case, even when the static is familiar and the signal is asking something new of me. The clear signal has never been wrong. Every time I ignored it, I already knew I was ignoring it. That's the specific discomfort of not listening. You know what you're not doing, so I'm listening now, actively, with some practice, following the frequency that sounds like my actual life. everything exposed. All the things I hide, what I was covering. Not bad things necessarily, just things that needed some air. Been sitting with some of them lately, the ones I've been redirecting around. Low tide as it's on schedule, you don't get to choose when it comes. Not drowning, just grounded. There's something in the low, if you're willing to low tide. Everything I've been carrying comes clear. Low tide, the water's down and I'm still here. Not asking to go back, just learning what was underneath. Low tide shows you what you're working with. The thing about low tide is the smell of it. Unmistakable, you know exactly where you are. You can't pretend it's something else. That's both the difficulty and the gift. I've been doing some inventory in the low tide of a hard couple of months. Turns out I have more structure than I thought. The difficult part revealed the foundation. Low tide doesn't break you, it just shows you what breaks and what doesn't. Low tide, everything I've been carrying comes clear. Low tide, the water's down and I'm still here. Not asking to go back, just learning what was underneath. Low tide shows you what you're working with. The water will come back, it always does. I'll be different when it does. That's the whole point of the low. Still standing, that's something. Send a signal flaring to the old friendship. Hadn't spoken in longer than either of us planned. Just a short message, nothing demanding. Something like, hey, still out here, hope you are too. They reply before I put the phone down, like they've been waiting without knowing they were waiting. Some connections don't need maintenance, they just need the occasional signal. Not every distance is a goodbye. Some of them are just pauses, long ones sometimes, but still pauses. Signal flare, somebody will see it. Signal flare, the right ones always do. You don't have to explain the gap, just put the light up. Signal flare, that's enough to begin. We talked for 2 hours like no time had moved. Caught up on everything and nothing specifically. Laughed at old things the same way we always did. Some things survive the distance perfectly. Made a plan, we'll probably have to reschedule, but the plan itself was the whole point. Signaling intent is different from availability. Both matter, I got confused about that for a while. Reaching out is an act of faith in the thing you're reaching towards. Sometimes it holds, this time it helps. Signal flare, somebody will see it. Signal flare, the right ones always do. You don't have to explain the gap, just put the light up. Signal flare, that's enough to begin. I've let so many good things lapse, but waiting for the right time, the right words, the right anything. There is no right time for signal flares. You just fire them and see what comes back. The fear of the non-response kept me quiet too long, cost me connections that deserve the attempt. So I've been sending more flares lately, accepting that not all of them get answered. The ones that do are worth everyone that didn't. The reconnection I'm talking about right now started with the message I almost didn't send. There's a season every year that gets me, usually around when the light changes. Something about the shorter days makes the longer thoughts come out. Not depressed exactly, more like hollow in a way that has texture. Like a room that used to have furniture and now just has the marks on the floor. I know this season ends, it always does, but while I'm in it I forget that every time. Hollow season comes around like it owns the place. Hollow season, I know your face, I know your pace. Stay as long as you need to, I've stopped fighting the visit. Hollow season, I'll be here when you're done. Talked to someone about it this year, instead of managing it alone. Said the thing out loud, it lost some of its weight in the saying. They send me to same time every year, like a weather pattern with a personal address. Something about being witnessed in it makes the hollow feel less vast. Not alone in it, even when it feels that way. Somebody else's season overlaps with mine. Hollow season comes around like it owns the place. Hollow season, I know your face, I know your pace. Stay as long as you need to, I stop fighting the visit. Hollow season, I'll be here when you're done. Let me tell you what I've learned about the hollow. It's not the absence of good things, it's the adjustment period when good things are between visits. The hollow is the space where the next good thing is building. I didn't used to believe that, had to live through enough seasons to see the pattern from a distance. Oh, every hollow season ended, left something behind it, cleared a path for. I'm still learning to trust that, but I'm learning. Hollow, but not empty, never empty.
Cut every move I make. Room shake when I hit that stage.
Heels on fire, rhythm in my spine. Every step lies perfectly in time. Crowd so close, I control that wave. One look back and they misbehave. No break. Turn it louder.
Turn it up. Turn it up. Speakers bust. Bass so heavy, lose control. Feel the roll.
Hands up.
Jump now.
Silver smoke curls off the gravel edge. Everyone else took a cab downstairs. The rooftop door clicks shut behind us. I offer you the filter side. The city lights glow soft and orange. My thumb brushes against your cold palm. One lighter, spark starts a fire. Take my hand, the wind pulls at your loose jacket. 10 years feel like a single minute. You don't pull your arm away. Your skin is warmer than I thought. We look out at the empty streets. Take my hand. Blood means more than just a name. We are sharing one last smoke. Your eyes look like my mom's. The roof feels like a holy place. We finally found our way back The phone rang once, then cut out. I didn't even check the clock dial. 2 hours driving through the thick fog. You stood by the gas station. We spoke like we never even left. My brother always keeps the porch light. Loyalty is a quiet, steady thing. Take my hand. The family tree has deep roots. We don't need a map tonight. Your laugh sounds like my dad's. The world is sleeping down below. I am never letting go. Take my hand. Everything we lost is found again. You lean your head on my shoulder. The stars look like old white dots. Nobody is coming to get us. Yeah, time moves fast for everyone else. We stopped the clock on this roof. A sister knows the hidden truth. A friendship survives the long winter. You hold on tighter than before. The sun is starting to wake up, and brick wall feels solid and real. Take my hand. The roof is our only home. We made it through the dark years. Your face looks like a mirror now. The cold air makes us feel alive. We have nowhere else to be. Take my hand. Smoke goes out in the tray. The distance was just a bad dream. We are standing on the edge together. The morning light is almost here. The door is still unlocked. We walk down the stairs slow. Home is where you are. Everything is okay now. The brass plate reflects my tie.
The imperfect version is texture. Warm static, something real underneath the interference. Warm static, beautiful in its own broken way. Not everything clear needs to be clear. Some things communicate through the noise. Warm static, I'm learning to hear it. Relationship had some static in the middle years. Neither of us knew how to tune it right. We kept trying to clean up the signal, when maybe the static was the signal. Turns out we were both saying something true, just through a lot of interference. Once we stopped trying to fix the reception, we could hear each other fine. Warm static, something real underneath the interference. Warm static, beautiful in its own broken way. Not everything clear needs to be clear. Some things communicate through the noise. Warm static, I'm learning to hear it. I've been less interested in perfect lately. Perfect is a destination that keeps relocating. Every time I think I'm close, the definition shifts a little further out. So I've been sitting with the warm static version, the life that crackles at the edges, the relationships that require some patience, the version of myself that's still being tuned, that's not settling, that's understanding what's actually on offer. The beautiful, imperfect, real version is the one I actually want. Warm and imperfect, both true, that's enough.
Stop performing okay when I was not okay. About 8 months ago, somebody asked and I told them the actual answer. They did not panic, they did not leave. They said, thank you for telling me. And that was the whole thing I had been afraid of for years. Did nothing. Stop performing okay. Said the actual thing. Stop performing okay. The room handled it. The people handled it better than expected. Stop performing okay. Relief. Performing okay takes significant energy that could go toward actually getting okay. Stop the performance, redirected the energy. Got help, got better, got honest in that order. Stop performing okay. Said the actual thing. Stop performing okay. The room handled it. The people handled it better than expected. Stop performing okay. Relief. Yeah. The performance of okay fools nobody who loves you. They see through it and wait for you to stop performing. Stop performing. Yeah. Let them help. The performance was always cast liar. And the honesty. Stop performing. Got help. Got better. The apology I practiced in the mirror. Every version getting slightly clearer than the one before, with something taking shape. The apology I practiced, ready to escape. Started with the defensive version, obviously. Everything I needed you to see about my side of it, the context and the reason. The apology I practiced, first season. Took that version out and started over. Everything I'd written as a cover for the actual thing I needed to say. The apology I practiced, second day. Stripped it back to what was actually true. Everything that wasn't just for you to hear, but for me to actually mean. The apology I practiced, finally clean. The apology I practiced, third revision. Everything the mirror helped me with. The incision of the real from the defensive and the proud. The apology I practiced, said it loud enough to hear myself say it properly. The apology I practiced, honestly, better than I thought I was capable. The apology I practiced, valuable. Sent it in the form of a message edited. Everything the over-explanation credited to itself, removed before the sending. The apology I practiced, mending something I had broken without fully understanding how completely the thing had broken until I looked. The apology I practiced, fully cooked. Stripped it back to what was actually true. Everything that wasn't just for you to hear, but for me to actually mean. The apology I practiced, finally clean. The apology I practiced, third revision. Everything the mirror helped me with. The incision of the real from the defensive and the proud. The apology I practiced, said it loud enough to hear myself say it properly. The apology I practiced, honestly, better than I thought I I was capable. The apology I practiced, yeah, valuable. Wordlets are slow, trumpet breathing long. Everything about the apology, the song. I didn't know I needed to learn to sing. The apology I practiced. The whole thing started wrong and got revised and stripped. The apology I practiced, equipped with nothing but the actual truth of it. The apology I practiced, that's the bit that matters, sentimented.
Practiced it in the mirror, every version getting clearer. Said the true part, sent it clean. The apology finally mean what it said.
The apology I practiced, third revision. Everything the mirror helped me with, the incision of the real from the defensive and the proud. The apology I practiced, said it loud enough to hear myself say it properly. The apology I practiced honestly, better than I thought I was capable. The apology I practiced, valuable. The apology I practiced meant every word. Yeah. Used to move at 100 miles just to feel something. Yeah. Always chasing the next thing before the last one landed. Yeah. Now I'm sitting with the window open, coffee going cold. Funny how the slower pace makes everything feel fuller. You called out of nowhere on a Wednesday afternoon. Said you've been thinking about the way we left things. I didn't have a speech prepared, just said come over, I'll be here. Maybe we've been overthinking all of this. Maybe simple is the version that was always gonna work. Slow it down. We don't have to figure it all out tonight. Some things only make sense in the right light. I'm not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere. Slow it down. We got time. Yeah. You showed up with takeout and no explanation. Just set it on the counter like you never left. We didn't talk about the months in between. Just put something on and let the evening happen. That's the version of us I forgot existed. Easy, no performance, nothing to defend. Two people who know each other's silences, deciding that's worth more than being right. I'm not the same person who couldn't stay. Maybe that's the only thing that needed to change. Got time. Yeah, let me say this without making it complicated, because I made it complicated before and it cost me. Simple version, I'm better at this now, and I think you are too. Yeah, the work I did in the time between was partly for me and partly toward this. Not because I knew we'd end up here, but because becoming someone worth coming back to matter. So slow it down. Let's see what this is when we're not rushing it. Got nowhere to be, and for the first time in a long time, that's the truth. We don't have to figure it all out tonight. Some things only make sense in the right light. I'm not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere. Slow it down. We got time. Time. all of it. Outgrown it, now with resentment, just it does not fit anymore. The way a coat you loved at some point stopped being the right coat, not because anything was wrong with it, because you changed. Outgrown it, that is allowed. Outgrown it, honest and okay, not a betrayal, just growth. Outgrown it, with gratitude. Yeah, held it past the point of fit, because letting go felt like saying something negative about what it was. But letting go is not criticism, it is acknowledgement that you have grown into a different shape, and the old shape is not wrong, just not you anymore. Outgrown it, that is allowed. Outgrown it, honest and okay, not a betrayal, just growth. Outgrown it, with gratitude. Outgrown it, with gratitude for what it was when it was right. Everything has a season, and the season ends not because anything failed, because everything grew. Outgrown it, with gratitude. That is the whole thing. Outgrown it, with gratitude. Getting better at this, not fast, not dramatically, just measurably better than last year. Last year version would not have handled that the same way. This year version handled it with some patience and less damage. Getting better at this, not fixed, just improving. Getting better at this every year, measurably, actually getting better at this. That counts. Used to grade myself on the hard version of the grading scale where improvement did not count, only perfection. Changed the grading scale to the honest one, was showing up and doing better than the previous version. Is the whole grade. Getting better at this, not fixed, just improving. Getting better at this every year, measurably, actually getting better at this.
Тут эти можно добить еще.
Is the only standard that is actually achievable and actually meaningful. Perfection is not the destination. Better is available every year if you are honest about where you started. Getting better every year, that is the whole thing. Getting better every year, that is enough. Between floors, elevator paused. Everything about the moment
Бля,
made me
сбил,
pause to
сука.
think about exactly where I am between floors.
5 секунд не осталось. Это все коллекция
Not at the
дальше.
bottom, not where I'm going. Everything in between is worth the
Не
knowing. Used to rush
шмотки,
through
да.
transitions, eyes on destination. Between floors, learning the
Плюс.
location.
of the middle, which is where most life actually happens underneath the strife of getting somewhere in the actual get between floors worth the forgetting. Every floor a different version of the same ongoing project going by my name. Between them is where the changing happens. Between floors, everything that patterns. Between floors, that's where I live most of the time. That's what I give attention to now. The in-between. Between floors, everything I've seen has happened in the transition. Not arrival between floors. That's the survival guide to that's mostly becoming between floors. Always something coming. Yeah. Third year of a thing that's
можно было так сюда заходить, блядь, чё я тупил? 11.
Every single minute, not where I started, not where I'm headed. Everything about the middle well threaded into the fabric of who I'm becoming. Between floors, keep it running. Every floor a different version of the same ongoing project going by my name. Between them is where the changing happens.
Ай, подскажи, плиз, играю третий день, как открыть доступ к контрактным миссиям? Ты имеешь в виду, может быть, контрактное поручение? О, кстати, у меня тут висят. Задание. То есть тебе нужно выполнить контрактное поручение, правильно? Если я не ошибаюсь. Ага. Так. Ну, во-первых, у тебя, как вариант, могут валяться свитки на контрактное поручение в сумке. Их нужно активировать. Могут валяться. Сейчас. Вот так вот они выглядят. Там серые должны быть. Во-вторых, ты можешь их купить. Сейчас степнусь. Пробежимся чуть-чуть, ты заебался уже. Ничего не делать. Так. И в каждом городе ты можешь купить по 3 штуки вроде в неделю. Вот город первый, второй, третий город. Типа за каждую фракцию. Репутация. Фракция. Вроде за репутацию. Сейчас посмотрим. Да, пусто, потому что ты не активировал конверт. Вот они. Здесь у тебя будет 3 штуки в каждой фракции, в каждом городе. То есть 9 штук ты можешь брать в неделю здесь. А как артефакты на 8 точить? На плюс 3 все ломается. Я брал гаранты плюс 6 по 500 алмазов. То есть из первоначальный донат, который я делал, там 20 баксов, я эти алмазы потратил. Сейчас я найду. Вот. Обмен, артефакт по 500 алмазов, вкладка, а здесь они по плюс 6. Миссия на 4-й день, точнуть на 8. Я не помню такой миссии. У меня нету на плюс 8 артефакта. Такой миссии вроде нету. Четвертый день. Контрактная. Вроде нет такой миссии. Я не могу ебучую немезиду зайти. Не пускают. Так, у меня контракты 1.
Everything about
Один
the
фиол и
ritual
3
complete
синьки,
in
да?
itself and meaningless together. Same window, any weather. He's
Так, а чё у
down
нас по
there.
времени, кстати?
Same room, same territory. Everything about the scene, a different story. Now that I'm looking instead of glancing past. Same window.
Ну, короче, понял, где покупать, да?
Stained glass, different morning, same view, different adorning of meaning from the eyes behind the looking.
Ладно, пойдем дальше станем.
Worth the booking.
Сделаем квесты.
Everything that used to
Отлично,
just sit
пожалуйста.
against the daily background now
Ура.
stands out. Same window, different light throughout the ordinary cataloging of the street. Same window, different beat behind the looking than there was before. Same window, different door. Yeah. Well, it's a slow flute, breathing warm. Everything about the same window, the norm that changed by me changing inside the looking. Same window, same street, different booking of attention. That's the whole shift. Same window, giving me the gift of the familiar, made unfamiliar by nothing but the particular. Way I'm looking now, same window, different. Same window, different light. Everything slightly right in a new way. Same view, same window, different you. Same window, different light. Everything that used to just sit right against the daily background now stands out. Same window, different light throughout the ordinary cataloging of the street. Same window, different beat behind the look and then there was
Что такое побеспокоил Твинов, блядь? Давай.
door. Woke up at 3 and checked my phone again. Same old habit, nothing there. Deleted your number, but I know it by heart. It's the part I can't seem to fix. Your hoodie's still hanging on the chair. I keep telling myself I'll move it, but every time I walk past it, I just look away and leave it there. I know you're somewhere doing fine. Probably don't think about me half as much, and that's the part that gets me every time. I wish I could turn this off. Still thinking about you when the lights
Бачал
go
контроль двух персон.
down. Still hearing your voice in every song I found. Told myself I'm over it. I said it out loud. Still
Ладно, Твины неинтересно идти. Еще поищу тут.
Still thinking about you. Saw someone wearing the same perfume. Had to walk the other direction. Funny how smell can do all that. Pull you back to something you're not over. Showed up to the place we used to go. Sat down at the table by the window. Ordered the same thing you always got. Don't even know why I did that. I know moving on is what I need, but knowing that don't make it any easier. 3 in the morning and I'm back to this same loop, different night. Still thinking about you when the lights go down. Still hearing your voice in every song I found.
Товары на арене сидят.
Told myself I'm over it. I said it out loud. Still thinking about you. Still thinking about you. It's not that I want you back. I just don't know how to stop. The version of you I missed probably wasn't even real. But it felt real, and that's enough to keep me up. Still thinking, lights go down and I'm back here
А, это хиллер, ебать.
Small inheritance, it's not the money kind. Everything she left behind that I
Я заморозка нормально
find.
дал,
The
бит.
particular way I do a
Две
certain
заморозки
thing.
дал.
Small inheritance, everything. The way I fold a towel 3 times exactly. Everything about the motion that exactly matches what I watched for 20 years. Small inheritance, that's what it hears. To the person that you are by proximity. Everything the small inheritance of habit and of gesture and of phrase. Small inheritance all the way. Not the furniture, not the name, possessions. Everything the small inheritance. Lessons are the ones she didn't know she gave. Small inheritance, that's the name. Small inheritance, the thing she didn't know. Everything she passed through. The regular show of Tuesday evenings and the way she moved. Small inheritance, nothing proved. Deliberately, but everything received. Small inheritance, what I believed about the world is partly hers. Small inheritance, still a curse. Yeah. Made soup the other day and stopped midway. Everything about the motion of the bay. Leaf placement exactly as she showed me. Small inheritance still owed me. Nothing already given completely free. Everything she did that I now see. Replicated in my own hands without thinking. Small inheritance without blinking. Yeah. Not the furniture, not the name, possessions. Everything the small inheritance. Lessons are the ones she didn't know she gave. Small inheritance, that's the name. Small inheritance, the thing she didn't know. Everything she passed through. The regular show of Tuesday evenings and the way she moved. Small inheritance, nothing proved. Deliberately, but everything received. Small inheritance, what I believe about the world is partly hers. Small inheritance, still a curse. Yeah. Felt piano soft, trumpet long and warm. Everything about the small inheritance form is that it travels through the watching years. Small inheritance, it appeared.
Так, что ему делать? Его пушки не продают, никто не продает, даже не продают.
Small inheritance, the foundations that nobody planned to lay.
Small inheritance, tower fall.
Так,
Everything she showed, Bailey plays the same way. Small inheritance stay.
Small inheritance, the things she didn't know. Everything she passed through. The regular show of Tuesday evenings and the way she
12к
moved.
скидывает уже.
Small inheritance, nothing proved. Deliberately, but everything received. Small inheritance, what I believed about the world is partly hers. Small inheritance, still a curse. Small inheritance. Still carrying. Unlearning is harder than learning, because learning adds things. Unlearning removes things you have been using.
The habit that helped once and costs now requires active removal, not just addition of the better thing. Unlearning is the whole second half. Unlearning of the growth project, not just adding, removing. Unlearning the hard work.
Так, 200 мы будем здесь
Identified three
введем.
things I have been doing that served a purpose in an earlier version that cost more than they gave in this one. Actively unlearning them means catching the habit mid-action and choosing differently. Every time until the choosing differently becomes the new habit. Unlearning is the whole second half. Unlearning of the growth project, not just adding, removing. Unlearning the hard work, learning gets all the attention. Unlearning does all the heavy lifting. Every version upgrade requires removing as much as it adds. Unlearning is the upgrade, doing the actual work. Unlearning the real work. Unlearning the real work. The conversation after is the real one. Everything about the official meeting done. In the parking lot or hallway afterward. The conversation after every word. Meeting ended, everyone dispersed. Everything about the
Здорово.
version first. Required before the real one could begin. The conversation after therein.
Что, ты начал играть?
Actual position of the room. Everything the formal meeting, the costume. One for the official record, the conversation after the second. Not conspiracy, just the natural human. Everything the formal setting consuming. Of the honest version of the thought. The conversation after what it taught. The conversation after, that's the one. Everything the meeting tried to run through properly gets said in the hallway. The conversation after, that's the real way. The decisions get their actual making. The conversation after the undertaking of the room's real consensus. The conversation after it renders us.
Так, это чё? Кинуть подать. Мне надо еще 30 монет.
The conversation after what got read into the record unofficially. Everything the conversation after free of the format and the formal expectation.
Да, моя микроволновка с ногами тянет. Ты посмотри на мою микроволновку. 87 градусов. Это сегодня сейчас еще жара будет под градусов 40 на улице. Интересно, до сотки он разгонится. Не, ну на удивление ноут еще работает нормально. На удивление.
Electric piano, easy flute, no warm. Everything about the conversation after form is that it's where the actual truth lives. The conversation after what it gives is the version underneath.
Ну блин, в этих игрушках у тебя перс должен стоять на фарме 24/7. Поэтому микроволновочка подкоптится, конечно, жестко. Conversation after, better read the conversation after. That's the one, everything the meeting. Try to run through properly, get said in the hallway. The conversation after, that's the real way. The decisions get their actual Серегаты 5.
The undertaking of the room's real consensus.
Ее надо въебать на +8, чтобы оно было актуально. Или на +7 хотя бы. Пиздец. Что за обиженное дитя тебе описывает в чате? Какой-то долбоеб твинов качает. Я что-то себя сидел, помню, никого не трогал, он на меня своих твинов накинул. Было больно. Сейчас я его споймал. Смотрю, твины его стоят. Начал пиздить сразу в разные стороны, начал разбегаться, чел, походу, где-то там проснулся. И твины уже не тянут ПВП. Получил пиздов, то выписывает. А снова не палит пока. Короче, начал со мной и продолжает уже с другими типами в чате. Какое-то чудовище, сука, обиженное. Бля, здесь, чтоб твинов качать, это надо... У тебя мейн квест ебанутый по количеству квестов. У тебя есть допки. И у тебя еще 3 фракции, как, блядь, 2 мейн... Ой, как мейн квест. Ну, задача канала бизнеса. Ну да. Плохо то, что не основа. Но твинов тоже неприятно, когда трогают. Ты хочешь, чтобы твинчики постояли, пофармили спокойно. Тут приходят, тебя пиздят, отвлекают, короче, вот это ты отвлекаешься. А у него еще, походу, там эти алармы включены. Типа, блядь, нас атакуют на всю хату. Это чудовище бежит, блядь. Это как только в БЗ хуярили, обиды того пригали, потом да. Тут все, в принципе, точно так же. Только тут клан зовут обычно. Не, ну в этой игрушке скучно. Такое. Единственное, то, что можно идти ПВП 1 на 1. Тут просто еще то, что на этом сервере заболотили. Заболотили серв. Ну, в принципе, уже 2 клана есть оппозиции. Может, еще кто-то будет. Это будет интересно. Если Nightmall и Team Favor пойдут к этим двум, тогда уже будет интересно. Я думаю, тогда они переедут в Хаосов. Игры разные, в принципе, не меняются, да. Не можешь победить соло, зовешь братюнчиков. Прислуживайте дальше хозяину. Пока дают возможность. Мне даже в таких игрушках в чате интересно сраться. Может, 2 года назад последний раз срался так. И свой класс создали, вступил. Не, я соло. Да я не знаю, я пока сейчас так на лайте играю, смотрю. По самочувствию, пока самочувствие такое не очень. Я думаю, играть дальше, не играть. Да вот пока выбил свиток фиольный. Плюс-минус 20к он стоит. Пока. То пока интересно будет, если он продастся. Там посмотрим, буду играть дальше или нет вообще в эту игрушку. Может, уйду в Реал. Потом вернемся. Короче, пока не определенно. Так бы да, хотел свою движуху, но пока нет возможности, так скажем. Подскажи, плиз, на 4-й день там квест приостановить приключенческие монеты. Что это надо сделать? Тебе нужно монеты приключений потратить, скорее всего. Вот эти вот приключенческие монеты. В одном из 3 городов тоже есть NPC. И ты тут покупаешь. Кстати, тоже можешь купить там контракты. Сундуки с контрактом.
without the particular warmth of a lit room. Seen from the street before you
А, тут по акции можешь скупить вот эти вот. Акция сейчас идет, это все скупить. Можешь. На что их выгоднее тратить? Ну вот это вот три вот эти позиции надо скупить фул. Вот это вот я покупал. Третий этаж секретной. Что-то секретная база, я не знаю, не Мизибе. Пока не знаю, просто взял. Тоже контракты. А так, копить я вот купил скилл за 300 тысяч. Первый скилл. Скилл, вот эти все расходники. Почему здесь турков с Годеса нет, чтобы выкупать сука всякую шляпу? Бля, я тебе скажу, турки в эти игры играют, и они жестко играют. Они донатят, как в Годесе, бля, может даже больше. Потому что тут больше нужно доната, чтобы вся что-то представлять. Это там туркам нужно было двушка зелени, тут надо 5-10 тысяч, чтобы они не сосали в топе. Это ж турки. Их эго заденешь, и все, это чудовище пойдет больше донатить. Скажи еще раз, как ты это открыл. Ну, вот сверху есть типа буквочка И, информация. Ну, если ты не на арене, там тоже будет буква И, нажимаешь на нее. У тебя есть вот эти хуйни, и зажимая на каждую, то есть, допустим, мне нужны монеты приключения, зажимаю left кликом, или просто нажимаю, да? Да, просто нажимая на каждую монетку, ты можешь выбирать и смотреть, что где покупается. Прикольно эта механика сделана. А хули у них донат дешевый, им-то похер. До сих пор, да, типа лира? Ну, процентов 40. Пожалуйста. Не, ну процентов 40, как они донатили в Годесе, блин, это вообще кайф. Я тоже помню, через лиру себе карту сделал. Конечно, она ощущается намного поярче так. Так, мы через 2 часика должны собраться, мой квест проходить дальше. Можно только почилить. Left the light on, that's it. Что это чучело там до сих пор выписывает? Что-то крампик. Пожалуйста. Да, они до сих пор в любой игре за счет дона вывозят, только вспомни, сколько поломанных персов в Годесе было. Это да. В этих персах въебано. Где сколько ресов, а персы такие ни о чем еще. Не, ну они потом со временем научились играть. Фишка в том, что чем сильнее я их пиздил, тем лучше они потом играли на следующих серверах. Даже сопротивлялись. Ну, в этих игрушках у меня так не получается, типа, играть. Здесь нужно сразу косарь баксов вкидывать на старте игры. В Годесе то, что я донатил, там косарь баксов не хватало раскинуть его на полгода где-то. Вольный контракт еще есть. Оп. Херня.
last message read the dancer. Yeah. Yeah. Type 17 different versions of a reply. Everything about the draft's a goodbye to the certainty that words would fix the thing. Last message read, what spring? Cleaning up the inbox finally surfaced. Everything about the thread that served as reminder of what I left unanswered. Last message read, still not mastered, not ghosting.
Я могу посмотреть, до какого уровня я смогу качнуть. До 73-го. 7 лямов. 37к, еще 20к надо до золотого робота. Я обычно за однокнопочного играл упырь, потом бездонного, потом дальнего делал. Я его прям сам чуть-чуть играл, ним комфортно было. Комбо давать прям под себя сразу. Ну да, ему кнопки какие-то более интересные было, по-моему. $30к, меткость. Оденем эту сосочку, ну.
Yeah, bad receipt. Everything incomplete. 17 drafts. Nonsense. Last message read. Time spent. Last message read. Still there. Everything about the thread laid bare by the particular time stamp of the red. Last message read. Planting the seed of a conversation that never grew. Last message read, something true was in there that I didn't know to answer. Last message read the dancer. Last message read.
Не, ну хоть зато интересно, если такие челики в чате можно поугарать, не так скучно. Бля, я в Годосе сидел до сих пор, если бы игрушкой занимались и делали, давно все не играл. Правда, я в Годосе видос делал, тут стрим, Годос особо. Можно, в Годос можно было и стримить, конечно. Тогда я уже просто поздно к этому пришел, когда игрушка умерла. Да и планов у меня не было туда. Чисто случайно вообще получилось там с YouTube каналом, вся эта движуха. Разворот, поворот.
Yeah, continuing past the stop point is the most expensive thing I have ever done. Repeatedly before I learned to recognize the sign. The sign is different for every situation.
Бля, реально девчат внимание просит. Ну это рандомный такой чел, понял, рандомный хейтер. То есть я здесь даже не на уровне того, чтобы у меня были личные хейтеры пока. Мне надо порешать свои вопросы в реале, вернуться сюда в прайме, в каком-то проекте, раздать говна, тогда будут хейтеры. Сейчас будет неинтересно играть после того, когда мод разрешили сами админы. В смысле разрешили сами админы. Когда же его все начали пользовать, даже я не думаю, что они разрешили. Они просто не смогли его убрать, наверное.
That is the skill.
Так, где мои друзья? Так, Арилас онлайн. Папа Свин есть онлайн, тоже Ролл есть. Крам есть. Мгм.
First draft always wrong, that's the rule. Everything about the first attempt at school.
Мне то, что здесь нравится эта игрушка менюшка, типа. Хотя я уже, наверное, может, к ней привык, потому что такая менюшка уже во всех играх плюс-минус. Единственное, то, что для вот это вот говно, все. Сумки и сумка корявая. В принципе, тоже к этому привыкаешь со временем. Но они могут сделать лучше, намного лучше, чем это, что сейчас есть. Если раньше на шахтах тебе сбил пиздюк, там Аку летал бан, потом стал админом похуй. Не знаю, что ты его пользуешь, но это тоже вообще. Такая фишка в том же, что они убрали специально шахты. Убрали шахты, и это был последний контент, получается, клановый. И все, по сути, вот тогда игра умерла. Игра умерла, и типа а-ля пользуйтесь модом как хотите. Ну или просто уже смирились. Я не знаю, какая причина, но они не смогли убрать мод, они убрали контент с игры. Это бред. Нигде такого не было, наверное, и не будет. Ну, короче, им похуй, они продали свой проект, залутали хуевую тучу бабок за время проекта, за продажу. Сейчас все чилят на островах где-то. Вообще похуй. В будущем надо будет свою игру создать. Если сейчас игры создаются одним разработчиком с помощью нейрона, ебать, да. Какое-то лаве дайте, я вам сделаю игрушку. Нормально. Ну, нафиг такая игра уже не нужна, да? Выпускают сейчас сервер, блять, раз в месяц, кросс раз в год. Я на последнем кроссе уже забил, на последний кросс не шел там раздалбывать. Вот это вот я играл предпоследний кросс. Вот это предпоследний кросс. 465 это год назад, ну можно сказать 2 года назад. Все, там игра до 110-115 левела, все, дальше нет смысла. Там начинают разваливать камни, донатеры, и те начинают разваливать лицо просто. Короче, блин, это хотя бы было хоть прикольная, отчасти скиллозависимая, мозгозависимая игрушка. Здесь в таких игрушках скиллом особо не пахнет. Единственное, в принципе, тоже, что нужно мозги включать, типа там, как перса по фарму вывести и не проебаться, сколько доната влить, куда это донат вливать. Здесь немного уже другие приколы. Там турки хорошо заносили. Ну, нынешним разработчикам, так сказать, хозяевам, скорее всего, просто хватает на то, чтобы лутать себе в карман и поддерживать проект. Это, наверное, знаешь, как пассивный доход. Да они даже этим не занимаются.
Decided to stay, not passively, actively chose this.
Тут постоянно, короче, гринт в РФ. Да. Не, ну, в принципе, в Годесе же то же самое было. Да и в любой другой игрушке такое же. В Годесе же тоже можно было перса оставлять, фармить. А я вообще не оставлял. Я такой хуйней не занимался. А если так подумать, то это очень много ресурсов. Особенно когда ты идешь на темпе левела, а там выпадали банки на опыт. Бля, чел, себе нахуй не мешай.
of knowing what I had and choosing it over the unknown alternative. The chosen life feels different than the inherited one. I can feel the choice and how I move through it. Decided to stay with everything I know.
15-е, да. Надо 20-е добить. Ебать, меня тут выбили уже 101 место.
By choice, repeat it daily. Decided to stay. This is the one. Yeah.
4, 6, 5 и 3. 9К.
I chose with full information and I would choose it again. Every day the choice we made.
Такое.
To stay.
Отчасти оно душнит, а отчасти вообще можно, знаешь, играть так, что ставишь себе на авто, 10 часов у тебя оффлайн кач, еще 10 часов у тебя кач на расписании. То есть днем ты оффлайн кач ставишь, перс фармит, там чуть что тебя убили, зашел с телефона, опять поставил, переставил. Вечером ты поставил на ночь, фармишь. Вот. Заходишь, просто чилишь так. Кто-то может так душу отводить, если не играет на темпе. В Одессе БЗ обычно фарм весь был дикий. Еще одна фигня, не помню уже какая. Было года полтора назад не был. Ну бездна, да, бездна это было что-то с чем-то. Это знаешь, когда ты все прошел. Есть боссы, а за которых дропа особо не так уж и много и важного, да. Но за них так пиздились жестко. И за них так жопа горела. Это было классно. Здесь типа боссы, вот как здесь на арене, допустим. Типа босс появляется, за него должны пиздиться кланы, но здесь приходят все. Здесь, короче, пиздиловки за босса нет. Может пока. Из-за того, что типа нет оппозиции. Ну, так не должно быть, так неинтересно.
Learning the neighborhood still in progress. Everything the familiarity profess. By the third month isn't the whole picture. Learning the neighborhood, the fixture of the particular shop on the particular corner. Learning the neighborhood, the morning at the door of the place that closed last week. Learning the neighborhood, everything you need. Oh man, at the dry cleaner knows my face now. Everything about the recognition, how the neighborhood becomes a different thing. Learning the neighborhood.
Ты играешь? Какой ты уровень апнул уже? Everything the city life on the detail level is about is learning the neighborhood. Learning the neighborhood, that's the good. Not just the streets, but the particular texture. Everything the neighborhood, the lecture. Ебать, 9-1 майн.
Learning the neighborhood, the share. Learning the neighborhood still in progress. Everything the
А голду дают на 12. Это не 9-1, это где-то 60 уровень. Это, наверное, на 70 можно было получить голду, что ли? The door of the place that closed last week. Yeah, everything you need. Yeah. Самую бичевскую. Кстати, Дев дает.
Electric piano, bright, flute warm. Everything about the neighborhood, the norm that takes the full year to actually learn.
Задний ускоритель.
What I earn is the knowledge that sits beneath the map. Learning the neighborhood, the gap between knowing the streets and knowing the place. Learning the neighborhood, that's the
Второй уровень, третий уровень.
staying long
Да.
enough to see it change. Learning the neighborhood, block by block. Everything on, off the clock of the map. to the real, learning the neighborhood, how it feels. Learning the neighborhood, still in progress. Everything the familiarity profess.
Так, я, наверное, офну. Через часика-два запущу, похаваю, пока там делами займусь. А может, сюжетку будем ебашить до 8 и соберемся. Смотрим, короче. Так, окей, прощаюсь тогда. Через часика-два запущу.